Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very, very messy junk room where we create whatever. Today, I need to use up book pages. I have piles and piles of them, and I need the shelf space for other more important things. I need to use them up. I need to put a dent in my pile. I'm calling these book page pouches, book page envelopes, book page pockets. I don't know. You can call them whatever you want. It's not my idea. There's not original idea that comes out of this junk room. I'm a copycat. I like to watch other people make things and then make them here in the junk room. I need to use them up. If you have book pages, and I know you do if you've been a junk journaler for any length of time, we're going to put a dent in our pile today. We're going to use every piece of the book pages while we make these pretty neutral, because I don't know what junk journals they are going in, but it's important to have supplies, a stock of things, so that they're at the ready for those days where you don't really feel like creating, or you don't know what to create, or you have a empty space in a junk journal that you want to fill quickly. These are great for that. Let's see if we can put a dent in these book pages today. Book pages, ruler, glue, sewing machine. That's it. That's all you need. And if you want to decorate them, by all means, decorate away. Don't mind the mess on the desk. I'm sure that your space gets messy too when you've been creating. Mine just never seems to get tidied up enough. White glue, ruler, and book pages. That's all you're really going to need for this. Now, you can add a couple of things. You could round your corners if you would like. You could put a notch in the pocket if you want. These are just extra things. You could ink around them if you want. Jumbo Java. And a sewing machine if you want. But that's it. I have gutted books, quite a few books. I have these full books piled up on a shelf. And I need the shelf space for better things. I'm going to use 4 at a time. The reason I like using 4 at a time is because it gives it some stability and some sturdiness. Can you use just one? Absolutely. But it doesn't feel as nice, and it rips a little bit easier. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip each side using my ruler. Over here, there is a pile of the torn off edges, but I use those as well. And I just go around and around. Those are for later. The next thing I do is I take the top 2 off. I take the bottom 2, making sure that there is 2 there and there's not, because you can feel the difference. I'm taking the bottom 2 and I'm flipping them upside down. That will become obvious in a minute. So the top 2, I fold down and then I tear. So it will look like that. Now you can also put a notch in it if you wish. You don't have to. My first few, I didn't. Oh, there we go. Punch is going to give me some trouble. I'm going to ink it so you can see where that line is. Just line it back on top there. And then the top 2 are going to come down. I'm going to put this to the side, and it's going to come down, and you're going to leave a little bit of a space so that you can get things in and out. So got to line that back up. Bring it down just above where the pocket starts. And then you can see that there's the fold up there. At this point, you could round your corners. You could leave your corners, or you can cut them on an angle. Totally up to you how you want to do this. And I'm going to get my glue. I'm just using all-purpose white glue. Just gonna go down and across each of the sides. So that's the first one. So those first two are together now. I'm gonna do the bottom. And I just keep going around each of the edges. And then the bottom one needs some glue too. Now for me, I'm sewing, therefore I'm just doing on the edges. If you're not sewing, you're going to want to use your glue to cover your pages except in the middle of the 4 of them, because you want this to be a pocket, of course. You don't want to glue it down. And look, there's the first one done. Done. How fast and easy is that? And we use 4 book pages. Let's do that again. And it's okay if it's rough pulling them out of the book, because you're going to peel them off. Now I said we're using every piece of it. Now sometimes this happens because my ruler moves, so I just cut it. I'm going to put this aside. We're going to come back to it in a minute. But what do you do with the pieces that you cut off? All of these, well, I keep them together and I sew around them. So here's 4 of them together. I just sewed around using different stitches. Now my stitches on my sewing machine are pretty basic, the zigzag and the straight stitch. Try different sizes, try your different stitches. If you have a fancier machine, you could make some beautiful stitches around. And then these are at the ready, and you can use these for pockets, just a decorative piece, a corner tuck spot. You could use them as a little journal card, whatever you wish. And I did a video not too long ago of using them up and decorating them. So this is this decorated. And I just mass make them, have them at the ready, and then decorate. That's what I do with these. Then we have these strips. Again, I keep the 4 together. Makes a nice sturdy base. And when I'm at my sewing machine, before I leave my sewing machine, I just feed them through the sewing machine. I don't even stop. I just keep going, using the different stitches. And then you can use these in your junk journals, like as they are, for a decorative piece. You can use them for tabs. You can use them for like a belly band. You could use them for a side tuck. And I have them ready to go. You could use them on the side of the pages in your junk journal. That one's kind of pretty boring. What you could do so it's not so boring is go down again. You can go down again and make some, purposefully unstraight lines. I really like this one. And try the different sizes of the stitches. So I started this one, And this was the first size, but then I made them smaller. So you can see it here. So there, and then they start getting smaller. And I'm like, oh, I really love that. So they're at the ready. So do those up while you're at your sewing machine before you leave. Back to our pocket pouch envelope thing. Again, you don't want to glue in between the 4. So 2 and 2. Don't glue this. That's your pocket. So we make our fold down. Turn the bottom 2 upside down because you want them the words. I mean, if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. But I did a couple with the words upside down, and I'm like, I don't like that. Tear those top 2. Again, save it, stitch around it. I'm going to empty this. Whew. I've been mass making these. They're so fun. So that goes on there. And then bring that down just above where the tear is on the other 2. Okay, so we did a round one. What if you don't want to do a round one? What if you want to have an angle? So angle away. This is where it looks more like an envelope. Get your glue. And just do the sides. Now again, if you don't have a sewing machine or you don't like that, then you're going to glue it very well. And you can use a glue stick. And you would glue up here if you weren't sewing. There. Another one ready to go. Let's ink it so we can see it better. There. You have that type round the corners, or you can just leave it. I say I want to put a dent in this, but I'm not doing a very good job making room on my shelves yet. Wonder how long it would take me to get through all the book pages I've accumulated. And I've told myself that I'm not getting any more books until I use up what I have. Because I would say I'm a little bit of you can never have too many books. And I have too many. Now there's books that I rescue from going into recycling from our local used bookstore. There's actually lots of thrift stores, but this place is Friends of the Library, and that's where the library books that are discontinued go. And then if they don't sell off the shelf, or they're not in good condition, or something's wrong with them, like maybe content or something, then they go in for recycling. And I try to go frequently. And last time I got there just in time, and I got a full box. of books without covers that are ripped, damaged. Oh, I have a hard time saying no to books. So there are books that I use for the book pages and don't mind repurposing them. And then there's some books that aren't for that. So you could also leave this just like that. Might trim out this bottom a little bit. I like the roughness of the ruler, how it got chewed up a little bit. So that was 3 we did with 3 different flaps. So do nothing and it works. Corner rounder works. And then just using your scissors to make an angle. Now, if you think this is too long and you don't like it, make it shorter. What would that look like? There, it would look like that. I did up a whole bunch of these last night just watching TV. And I took them and I sewed them. So this is what they look like when they're sewed. Sometimes I don't get the corners really well. Just go around again. Make it messy on purpose, like you had planned it. These would make great Happy Mail items, and you can fill up. See, this one I didn't notch. You could fill up with ephemera, all kinds of stuff. So play with your sewing machine. I don't mind these threads hanging. I don't know what journals these are going in. I'm quite happy to stop here and have these ready to go. Here's one with the angle cut, which I do a much better job sewing. But by using 4, they're nice and sturdy. I am going to ink them. You could glue these in to your junk journals, like glue them onto a page, and then you don't have to worry about what's on the back because it would be glued to a page. You could do that, or they could be a standalone item in your junk journal. Probably should ink before I glue them down. That's what it looks like all inked up. You could also make a closure for them. You could do that using a magnet, which is probably the easiest thing to do. You could get 2 circles and do that figure 8 closure. Let me see. I think I have magnets close by. Somewhere in here are the magnets. These are very, very strong magnets, even though they're small. And I tried I tried getting magnets from my dollar store, and they do not work like these. Look how tiny these are, and they're so strong. Did you see that happen so fast? Whoops, they're very strong. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Did you see it? Oh, nope. Oh no, I lost the other one. It's somewhere. That's how tiny they are. If you can see it, look there. I'll zoom you right in. That's how tiny. Tinier than the square. But I can't see where the other one got to, although it might go. Oh, I found it. So we could glue, and for this I'd use my art glitter glue because it dries fast. Okay, so we'll just put a dot there. This is just the fastest and easiest way for me. I did that wrong. You could cover that up a little bit. I like to use washi tape. Washi tape isn't very sticky. That. I don't think I have it on the right one. There, that's the right one. Just like that, with those tiny, tiny magnets that I get from my craft store. Works. If you don't like the threads hanging, you can cut them off. But there you go, just like that. If you want to decorate, you can decorate them in any theme that you want, depending on the junk journal that you're going to be using. I think I also want to try one with the circles, because I don't want to use up all my magnets, because I have a lot of these that I made. So these are from my hole punch. You just get some the same size. There's some more small ones there. How many, depending on what you're using, you might need 3 or 4 to make them very sturdy. Might as well go with 4. I'm using 4 book pages. These feel like they're just from a file folder. They're not very thick. Either a file folder or a really thin cardstock. I'm using my art glitter glue just for speed. I know lots of people are doing fall journals. That was 3. So you could decorate this up in fall. And that's 4. Give that a minute to sit. Lots of people are working on their Christmas stuff. I have a craft sale coming, so I've been like busy trying to have enough stuff to sell, which I don't think I do. And it's in 3 weeks. Okay, we'll that one a minute. And you can, make journal cards to go inside. Just going to ink the edges. And then, if you have brads and an awl, well, I saw it an awl in this mess. I'm going to take them both because I want the hole to be in the same spot. So if it's not centered, then it's not centered on both of them, and it looks like I did it on purpose. There we go. And you could stamp on these. You can decorate them any way you want. Those are my colored ones. I got this a long time ago. Those are my tiny, tiny ones. That's what I just got out. It's hard to see. There they are. All you need is two the same. Use two silver. Whoops. Poke a hole right here. Nope. That's where this one, the top one's gonna go. And then we need one down here. Maybe right about there. Okay, just needed to pull them apart a little bit so I can pull them apart better on the inside of this envelope. Now I don't want anything that I put in there to catch. So again, washi tape is great to cover up those legs so they don't catch on anything. This is tricky. Just gotta feel. Yep, I think I got it. And then do the same there. And then we just need some thread. Use some of this. So make that go under there. And we'll tie a knot. Secure this top one. I can cut that off now. And then how much do we need? Well, that's really up to you. So you could do a figure 8, or you could just do it this way. Scissors are getting dull. Just like that. I haven't inked this one. And then you go around like that. Oops. Ink up this. And you have them ready to go. And that's all I wanted to do today, is to get these ready to go. I am sure that you're going to see them finished and decorated in upcoming journals. Let's just put something in here. It's a little letter. Let's put a little letter in here. There we go. Just let's trim the little letter. just a smidgen. There. See, there's a little letter. Or you can do it like that. However you want. So go to town, put on the TV, and just make some of these little pouches. You could put a little sticker there, a little cluster. I got some butterflies over here that I punched out. They're hard to see, but they're there. So you can make these as elaborate as you want. And if you wanted them to be standalone items, they could fit into a pocket in your junk journal. You could use a paper clip to paper clip them in. If you wanted to cover this to make a writing spot, you could do that. These are so endless of possibilities. But they're ready to go and they're so easy to make. So go and make some for your upcoming projects, your journals, happy mail, Christmas gifts. Ooh, yeah, you could even do that. Who wouldn't like to get a pouch with like a gift card in here or some money in here? Just caution you though about what books you do use for this project, because you're not really covering up any of the words. So you want to make sure there's no bad or naughty words on there that you don't want to see, or things. So I gutted a book. It was a medical book, and I was using it for things like this. And don't use a medical book for little projects like this, because in medical books, they're very, very explicit in their details of all kinds of stuff. That was a mistake I made with my students, and they're like, what does this mean? And and they're like, yeah, I lost their attention pretty quickly. So those books went into recycling. So be careful of the book pages you use if you're not covering up all of the text. Have a great day, everybody.